So we are going to start in a seated position. Sukhasana with your legs crossed if that feels good. But any other seat that feels comfortable in your body and lets you sit up nice and tall. All right, and then once you found your way there, just take a second to kind of wiggle into your body. Maybe you close your eyes down or just soften your gaze, but just take a moment to just settle into your mat. And then as you start to settle in, take a moment to just tune in and notice the floor underneath you. So just notice the physical connection of your body to the floor, to your mat, and get a sense of that nice solidness underneath you. And then as you start to tune in and notice and feel that nice solidness underneath you, notice how the backs of your legs feel. Notice if you're gripping or holding any tension in your feet, your knees, your inner thighs. And if you notice there's anything there, can you let those places soften? And then as you soften and get heavier into the earth, can you lift up and get a little lighter and taller through your spine? And then if you notice if there's any rearrangements that you need to do, if your seat needs to be fixed or anything like that, take a second to readjust and then come back to that nice, heavy, settled in sensation in the lower part of your body, but a light and lifted sensation through the upper part of the body. Let your shoulders soften down away from your ears. Let your hands be soft and heavy, just resting comfortably wherever they fall. And then tune in and notice if your heart and your head are leaning slightly forward, which sometimes is just the way that we tend to bring our body. Can you draw it back just a little bit? So your head, your heart, and your hips are in line, shoulders soften down. And then maybe offer up just a little bit of gratitude for the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you, the walls around you. A little gratitude for the safe space that you have to work in. And then before we move away from this place, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Great, and then with that intention set, as you inhale, we're gonna lift the shoulders up to the ears, just let them drift up. And then as you exhale, just let them melt down nice and soft. Inhale and let your shoulders lift up to your ears. Exhale and let your shoulders melt down. One more just like that. Inhale, let your shoulders lift up. Exhale, shoulders melt down, and then we're moving right up into the head and the neck. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale and lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. One more just like that. Inhale and lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down, and now we'll move right into a seated cat and cow. As you inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale and round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time, just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and then find a neutral spine. Right hand's gonna touch down to the ground. Left hand's gonna reach up. Take a nice, gentle side bend. Beautiful, and then take it right over to the other side. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Take a nice, gentle side bend. Cool, lift up, and now we're gonna take it right into a seated twist. So left hand's gonna find the right knee, right hand behind you. Turn your head just as far as feels comfortable. So you're looking over the back shoulder if you can. Take a nice big breath. Great. And then soften your rotation just a little bit. So rather than leveraging into that twist, let it be sort of a softer version. You can still keep that handhold. And then turn your head so that your nose is facing your knee. And then keeping that sort of softer position there, you're going to turn your eyes away from your knee. So look away to the corner of the room. Just your eyes are going to look. Your head is going to stay facing your knee. And then bring your eyes back to neutral, release, and take your twist over to the other side. Catch your knee, get a nice big twist here, looking over the back shoulder just as far as you can. Awesome. And then soften up your rotation so your heart is pointing towards your knee, your head is facing towards your knee. And then keeping that position, turn your eyes away from your knee, just looking with your eyes as far as you can. Nice. And then bring your eyes back to neutral, release, rotate back to center, right into an easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out and then find a little reach. So reach through the fingers, nice and active through the arms, nice and active through the fingers and the hands. Soften the back of your neck. Get a nice long line through the back of the body. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up nice and easy. And then we're going to lean back into the sits bones to switch the cross in your legs. And then find your easy seat to the other side. Take a second to wiggle into place and then right back to that easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself out nice and long, but nice and active in the arms. So reach through the arms, reach through the fingers, and then soften through the back of your neck. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Come back up nice and easy. And then we're just going to take a side bend again to each side. So left hand's going to touch down, right hand's going to reach up. Take a nice gentle side bend. And then take it over to the other side. Beautiful. And then come back up to center. Lean back into your sits bones, swing your legs out, and then we're just going to take a couple of windshield wipers with the knees. Bring a little fluid into the hips, and then just notice here. How are your knees feeling? How are your hips feeling? How are your glutes feeling? Take one more little swish of those knees side to side, and then we're going to spin ourselves around into tabletop position or come on to all fours. So find your way into that all fours position, knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. Once you found your way there, curl both sets of toes under, and then right away, pull your butt back to your heels, and then come forward, shoulders in line with the wrists. Beautiful. Pull your butt back to your heels. Come forward, shoulders in line with the wrists. Nice. One more just like that. Pull your butt back to your heels. Bring the shoulders back in line with the wrists. Release your left toes, but keep the right toes curled under. Slide that foot back so the toes are curled under. And then we're just going to rock it forward and back, bringing a little stretch to the heel and the calf. Nice. One more forward and back, and then we're going to switch sides. Slide that leg in, left toes curl under, slide that foot back, and then rock yourself forward and back. Beautiful. One more forward and back, and then slide that leg in. We're going to come into a crooked table. So left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground. The right hand is going to stay fairly straight, so that right shoulder is slightly lifted. We're going to pick the right leg up. Keep your knee bent. Take a couple of circles with that knee drawing in one direction. Beautiful. And then draw those circles, go the other way. So we're just moving out of the hip socket a little bit, getting a little bit of looseness there. And then we're going to take it into that milder version of three-legged dog. So you're going to lift the knee up nice and high, let the foot fall back behind you, and then hopefully you find a little sensation through the front of your right hip where your right front pocket would be. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release that down. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to take our crooked table the other way. Right elbow and forearm down to the ground. Left arm stays straight. Pick that left knee up. Circle your thigh around, going in one direction. Beautiful. And then circle it around the other way. Nice. And then that three-legged dog variation where we lift the knee up nice and high, let the foot fall behind you, finding that little bit of stretch through the front of the left pocket. Nice. And then when you're ready, release it back down to the ground. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly, your chest, your forehead melt down. And then just soften here. Soften your arms, soften the back of your neck, soften the back of your body. And then just come back to your breath for a moment here. Nice, generous inhale. Slow but natural exhale. Take a moment here just to notice, are you holding tension in your jaw or holding any tension between your eyes? Can you let those places soften for a moment? Take one more breath. And then we're going to come up just a little bit. We're going to keep this position with our extended child's pose. Left arm is going to stay out nice and long, and right hand is going to thread through and across. But we're going to take it into that shoulder stretch rather than thread the needle. So the whole spine is going to stay straight and stable. We're just going to thread that right hand through and underneath. And you might need to scooch it around just a little bit. And then draw your butt back to your heels. So you get that nice stretch across the shoulders. Spine is straight, gazing down at the floor. Take a nice big breath. Slow breath out. Press into your left hand so you lift up slightly, unthread that arm, and we're going to take it to the other side. So right hand is going to reach out, left hand is going to thread through, but we're keeping the spine straight. Drop your butt back towards your heels. Soften the back of your neck, gaze down at the floor, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Press into your right hand, lift your butt up slightly away from the heels, unthread that arm, and then lift yourself back up into tabletop, walk the knees in, and now we'll thread the needle so the spine moves as well. Right hand's going to thread through and underneath, right ear, right shoulder to the ground. And then you play around with that left hand to whatever version you like. You might choose to walk it to the top of your mat. You might choose to lift it up to the sky. You might choose to tuck it behind you for a little half bind. So whatever feels good to you there, take a second to find it and then come back to your breath. Nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully bring yourself back up into tabletop position. And then we'll take that all to the other side. So we're going to thread the left hand through and underneath, left ear, left shoulder to the ground. And then play around with that right hand. Do you like to walk it to the top of the mat, reach it up to the sky, tuck it behind you, whatever feels right to you there. And then once you found it, come back to your breath. Nice, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and easy. Walk that right hand back in wherever it is. Bring yourself back up to your tabletop position. Take one cat-cow here just to move through the spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to neutral spine. And we're going to take it right into spinal balance, or what we would also know as bird dog. So left hand, right foot are going to slide out. And then if you've got stability and you're feeling nice and strong, lift the leg and lift the arm. Gaze down at the floor. Nice and stable here. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then with control, release it back down to the ground. And we're going to switch sides. So left leg, right hand are going to slide out. If you feel like you've got the stability, you lift up. Gaze is down at the floor. Nice and strong through the back of the body. One more breath. Beautiful. Release it nice and slow and controlled. Curl both sets of toes under, hovering table. Pick the knees up away from the floor. We're just finding a little strength through our center, a little strength in the shoulders, a little strength in the wrists. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready on an exhale, bring it up to downward facing dog and start to pedal out the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Beautiful. One more pedal of each legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of your mat. Feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. A super generous bend in the knees. Make some space for your belly, make some space for your chest. Let your head get nice and heavy here. And then if it feels good, catch hold of your elbows and let gravity do a little work for you. And then as you're here in this folded over position, take a second to just find that little bit of sense of release. So if you're holding tension or gripping in your toes or your feet, let your feet soften. If you're holding any tension or lifting your head, let the back of your neck soften. If you're focused and you're feeling that little bit of tension that creeps up between your space and your eyebrows or in your jaw, let those places soften. Take one more good breath here. Beautiful. Now we're going to stay folded over, but if you're holding your elbows, relax your hands towards the ground. We're going to walk our hands over and off to the left side of the mat with a little reach through the right hand, like you're reaching for something across the room. Nice. And then walk it through center over and across to the other side of the mat. Left hand is going to reach like you're reaching for something across the room. Beautiful. And then bring it back to center. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to standing, nice and slow and controlled. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then just take a second as you come up to standing to get yourself all fixed up, and then find your mountain pose at the top of the mat. So toes and knees pointing fairly forward. Big toes are drawing back towards the heels, so we get that pada bandha, that nice lift from the soles of the feet. Lift that energy up through the crown of your head, and then let your shoulders soften down. And then see if you can bring just a little life down into your fingertips. And then in this nice strong stance, just take a moment here to become aware of the floor beneath your feet, the walls around you, the ceiling above you. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. We're going to keep that length in the spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. And now we're going to step our hands so that they come on top of the knees. We're at the top part of the thighs. Keep a nice generous bend in those knees and your weight slightly back in your heels. And we're going to take it right into our Uddiyana Bandha, that flying up root lock. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale, and at the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in so you get that nice hollow belly. Hold that hollow sensation for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the abdominal muscles. Take your inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, get that hollow belly, hold those muscles in just as long as you can. And then without having to gasp for air, you're going to release the abdominal muscles and take your inhale. Beautiful. One more just like that. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, hold it as long as you can. When you're ready, release the abdominal muscles and then take your inhale, push into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides, and then just pause in your mountain pose. Become aware of your center in your belly. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. On your next inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into a little chair. Weight is in the heels, butt comes down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up as you exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale and reach up. We're going to float the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles down, arms pull slightly away from the back of the body so we get that little squeeze between the shoulder blades, but an opening through the chest and the collarbones. Lift your chin up to the sky, take a nice big breath. When you're ready, release and find your way back to your mountain pose, hands down at your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you, whatever feels better. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back to a low lunge. So we're going to bring the knee down, but keep those back toes tucked under. Bring your hand to your front knee, lift your chest. Pull that left hip crease back, reach your arms up, take a nice big breath, look to the sky. Beautiful. And then we're going to float the hands down, frame your front foot, release your back toes, pull the hips back, 1/2 splits, peel your front toes up. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward, curl your back toes under, pick your back knee up. So we come into that runner's lunge. Nice. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. We're going to bring the knees down right away. Rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let your hip roll open. Beautiful, and then step that foot through to the top of the mat or just as far as it goes. So if it only comes halfway, pick it up, help it along. So you find that lunge to the top of your mat. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath here. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up into forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. We bring the knee down, keep the toes curled under, hands to the knee, lift your chest. Pull that hip crease back, reach your arms up, look up, and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Float your hands down, release your back toes. One half splits here. Pull the hips back, peel the front toes up. Beautiful. And then rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Nice. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs as you lower nice and slow and controlled. One low cobra, but we're going to hold that low cobra. So lift your heart up just a little bit and then lift your hands away from the floor and feel the strength in your back. Take one good breath here. Beautiful. Release your hands down, push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Left leg is going to come up nice and high into three-legged dog. Bend that knee. Let your hip roll open. Beautiful. And then step that foot through to the top of the mat or just as far as it goes. So if it only comes a little way, pick the foot up and help it along. And then once you found your lunge, pause for a moment, take a breath. Nice. And then step that back foot up to meet into your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, press your palms together, shift your weight over to your left foot, peel your right heel up, leave the big toe on the ground just for a moment. Interlace your fingers so you get that temple mudra, pointers up to the sky. And as you raise your arms up, can you pick your knee up as well? Beautiful. Release that foot down as you bring the hands back to heart center. Shift your weight over to the other side. Peel your left heel up. Big toe stays on the ground. And then if you like, as you raise your arms up, can you pick that knee up? Nice. And then when you're ready, release it back down to the ground. Come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop position. We're going to come into gait pose. So step the right foot out to the side, straight out from your hip. Hands to your hips, come up to a high kneel. Beautiful. Right hand on the thigh, left hand reaches up alongside your ear, leaning over that right leg. So taking that side bend over that extended leg, pull that top thumb back, gaze up to the sky, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then that top hand is going to spin around and down. So we're going to come into a tabletop position, but keep that leg out to the side if you can. Pull your butt back towards your heels, just go as far as feels comfortable to your knee, and then push into the top of the foot and the shin, come back up to tabletop. We're going to do that again. Pull your butt back towards your heels, go just as far as feels safe to your knee, push into the top of the shin, bring yourself back up. Beautiful. One more just like that. Pull your butt back towards your heel. Bring it back up and then slide that foot in back to your tabletop position. We're going to take it to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out to the side, hands to the hips as you come to that high kneel position. Nice. Left hand on your thigh, right hand reaches up alongside your ear. Lean over that extended leg. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling. Nice, and then take that top hand, spin it around and down. So we come back into that tabletop position, keeping the leg extended out. Nice, and then pull your butt back toward your heels. Going just as far as feels safe to that knee, lift yourself right back up. Keep the leg extended out. Nice. Pull your butt back towards your heels and then bring it back up. Beautiful. One more just like that. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Bring it back up and then slide that leg in. From here, we're going to spin around onto our butt. So you can either crisscross your ankles and just sit back onto your heels or swing your legs out to one side, but come back out so both legs are out in front of you, nice and long. And then just give everything a little wiggle. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your ankles, bounce out your knees. We're going to take a little bit of lymphatic movement. So maybe with a soft bend in the knees, just so you're not yanking too much against the backs of the legs, take a nice big breath, reach up. And as you exhale, you're going to reach towards your feet, and then you're just going to put a little press onto your feet. So you're into your feet, your hands, press into your hands and glide your hands up the outsides of the thighs, up the sides of the body, up your armpits, the back of your neck, reach up. And then exhale, reach towards your feet, press into your hands, glide your hands up the sides of the thighs, up the side of the body, up the armpits, the back of the neck, and reach up. Nice. One more just like that, reaching towards your toes, press into your hands, glide the hands up the sides of the legs, up the side body, up the armpits, the back of the neck, reach up. Beautiful. And then float your hands down alongside your hips. And we're going to take it into a reverse table. So you're going to step your feet so they're nice and firm on the ground, push into your palms, lift your butt up and just go as high as feels right to you. That tall tabletop position is not for everybody's shoulders. So you're just going to go as high as feels safe and comfortable. Take one good breath. And then when you're ready, release your butt back down to the ground. We're going to curl the tailbone under, roll your way down to the ground, nice and slow and controlled. Cool. And then once you found your way here, just give a second. Let your spine settle in. Let your body feel comfortable. Readjust your clothes or your hair as needed. We're going to take it into a figure 4 position. So right leg is going to come across the left. Take your right hand to your right inner thigh. Gently push your knee open. Pause there for a moment and just notice. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. And then take both hands out at your side. So palms pressing down, arms are going to be our little anchor. With that figure 4 position and the left foot still on the ground, you're going to take your legs, drop them over to the left. Let your right foot touch the ground if it can. And then press into your hands as you bring your legs back to center. And then we're going to drop them over to the other side. So a little knee down twist. Beautiful. And then bring it back to center. And now we're going to lift the left leg up. Thread your hands through, either grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, whatever handhold works good for you. And then gently bring it in, making a little space so that you can breathe comfortably. Shoulders are soft, gazes up at the ceiling, and take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Step the right foot off the left, and we're going to set our figure 4 up to the other side. So left leg is going to come across the right, left hand to that inner thigh. Gently push the knee open just to a point that it feels like a good sensation. And then pause there for a moment and notice. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then bring your hands out at your sides, using your hands as a little anchor. We're going to drop the legs over to the right. So you're going to let that left foot touch down to the ground if it can. And then pressing into your hands, bring your legs back to center. That little knee down twist, we're going to drop them over to the left, taking them just as far as feels comfortable to you. Nice. And then bring it back to center. And now we're going to lift legs up, thread your hands through, either grabbing the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Hug it into your comfort level. Soft shoulders, soft jaw, soften the space between your eyes. Take one more breath. And then we're just going to release our arms and release our legs into a tabletop position. So uncross your leg. And then as you bring it into that tabletop position, right hand's going to come on top of the right knee. Left hand is going to reach behind and grab the back of the thigh. So the left thigh is pushing into the left hand and the right hand is pushing into the right knee. So you're going to find that nice little opposite position. So pushing out and pushing in, find that nice little bit of opposite work. Take one more breath, nice and active. Soften your legs, and then we're going to switch. So left hand is going to come on top of the knee, right hand is going to come behind the thigh. So the thigh is pushing into the hand and the hand is pushing into the knee. And then find that active position. So your arms are resisting, legs are working. Nice opposite work here. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release, pull both knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. Beautiful. And then take those knees and draw them in circles. Go in one direction. And then draw your knees in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, set your feet back down to the ground, pause for a moment and just notice, ask your body, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest? Maybe toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat and let your knees drop in. Would it feel good to come to reclined cobbler's pose with the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right? Does it feel better to come to that more traditional shape? And then especially if you're in a cool climate or in a colder room, maybe using a blanket or putting your socks back on or a sweater, anything that'll keep you nice and cozy so you don't come out of your Shavasana feeling cold or achy. So give yourself a second to get nice and situated so everything feels nice and happy. And then once you feel like you've got yourself set up, maybe you close your eyes down or just soften your gaze, just staring at a point in your ceiling. Allow a little time here. Let your bones get nice and heavy. Let your muscles get soft and heavy. Allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Soften your jaw. Soften your cheekbones. Soften your eyes. And then just see if you can invite a softness into the outer edges of your skin. Start to bring your awareness back into your body, becoming aware of the floor beneath you. Invite just the littlest, gentlest bit of movement into your fingers, into your toes. And as you gently move your fingers and your toes, notice that little bit of movement that happens as the whole body is connected. So even with that, just a little bit of tiny movement of the fingers and the toes, you might feel a little movement in the back of your body connected to the floor. And then if you were in constructive rest or if you were in reclined cobbler's pose, maybe gently walk your feet down towards the end of your mat. So you're in that more traditional Shavasana shape. And then with your arms wide and your legs wide, we're gonna just lift our limbs. So you're just gonna pick the right leg up, maybe 2 inches off the floor, just to kind of feel and notice. Notice the weight and the solidness of your right leg. And notice every other part of your body had to get a little bit engaged to just move that leg. And then when you're ready, set that leg down, let everything soften for a moment, take a breath. And then we're going to pick up the left leg. So we're just going to lift the left leg up, maybe 2 inches off the floor, and then just notice. Notice the weight of your left leg. Notice the solidness of your left leg. And then notice how the rest of the body had to come on board to help lift that leg up. And then when you're ready, soften that leg down, relax the muscles. And then we're going to take it into the right arm. So you're just going to pick your right arm up, maybe 2 inches off the floor. And then just notice, maybe it's a little bit lighter than your leg, so not as much of the body had to get engaged. When you're ready, relax that arm back down to the ground, take a breath. Pick up your left arm about 2 inches away from the floor. Notice your arm, the weight of your arm, the solidness of your arm. And then when you're ready, relax your arm back down. And now we're going to take it to the head. So you're just going to pick your head slightly up away from the floor, just to the point where you feel the muscles in the front of your neck and your chest get engaged. Feel that sense of solidness of your head, the weight of your head. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, relax your head back down to the ground and maybe just take a couple of turns of the head side to side, just to kind of soothe it out, relax those muscles, massage out the back of the head. Nice. Take one more little turn of your head side to side, and then maybe take it into a big good morning stretch. Stretch your arms up and overhead, reach through your toes, reach through your fingers, take up a whole bunch of space in your world, just reaching far way beyond your fingertips and your toes. Take a nice big breath in. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So come up in any way that suits your body best into a seat that suits your body best. Nice. And then as you come up to that comfortable seated position, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, eyes closed, or just soften your gaze. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. And then breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday, beautiful, beautiful people.